PK for some reason.
Yeah.
I'm just a moron. That's absolutely fine. Thankfully, the ban and pick is here to save me from my own idiocy, as the Nidalee going to be taken away from SOFM. Currently, he's 100% win rate on that champion and 0% win rate on anything else. Sample size of 3, so take that. Fantastically so far, so we'll see whether he's going to be able to continue that form here on the Syndra.
And honestly, I feel like Mission, if people have been watching his gameplay, what he does with waves and things of that nature, he's been really impressive for a mid laner so far this tournament. He has seemingly a lot of awareness of what is going on inside of the laning phase and what he needs to be doing, and those trade patterns that he ends up taking. So I'm looking forward to seeing him against Angel here today on the Syndra. On the flip side, they have the Ashe and the Volibear. Obviously, on Suning's side, there's a lot more control going on inside of the Champ Select. Bard is coming out.
Yep, Brad going to be the lock-in here. Prioritizing support for Sword Art. Of course, Sword Art, a phenomenal player throughout the years. Had a lot of experience with that particular gentleman, but you give him agency and he will certainly take it. So Bard, a brilliant choice there for him. Karma going to be taken away, going to try and get rid of some of that that lane presence towards the bottom side more than anything else, as Ashe Karma can be extraordinarily difficult to deal with. As we'll see where Machi are going to be focusing. I have a feeling that Huanfeng could be where their mind is going to go. We've already heard a lot of our analysts talking about how pivotal he has been for Suning thus far. Also, he's one of our Draven players, so that just makes it really, really fun. We're not going to talk about the other Dravens that we've seen, because that makes us sad over here in LoL Park. Ezreal is going to be the first one to be taken away, and I think this is genius. Ezreal Bard, one of the strongest Bard lanes that you can have.
Yeah.
Certainly still a lot of options.
And Tahm Kench getting banned away as well, which is a little bit surprising because Bard X would just be able to have a lot of freedom, even though it's Ashe Tahm. So that one does strike me as a bit surprising. Wonder what Machi X wants to ban away next. Okay, it's going to be Wukong removed from the table.
Certainly would have been fantastic as far as AoE teamfights are concerned, but certainly been aiming towards a lot more of these split pushes rather than teamfight top laners thus far, considering his 66% pick rate of the Jax. Huanfeng though, this is the other Bard lane that we've seen a lot of, as Jin's going to be picked into the Ashe this time around.
And Machi X now hovering Jace as it currently stands, and I feel like that begins to set up for a lot of things. It even begins to set up for Malphite if that gets locked in, and it does.
Okay, so Jace likely to be towards the top side of the map, as Nautilus going to be picked up here as well very quickly. Looks like a lane kingdom comp to me out of Machi.
Yeah, Machi trying to go for all lane dominance with a very easy jungler that can set up ganks, but the worrisome thing for this is that Graves, SOFM, is just going to be able to power farm and match counter gank everything, and if that ends up happening, Suning just comes out ahead. So, Aurelia is the hover. Okay, it's going to get locked in.
This could be a very good taxi for Mr. Galio there to get into these team fights exactly where he wants to. It's Blade Surge, and then you just pop a gargoyle down on top of the lady, and then team fights can work out relatively well, but Machi are not looking at team fights. They don't want to look past the laning phase. That's where they want to really this one as well, so keep your eyes towards that top side of the map and see what Bin's going to be able to do on this Aurelia. I find it really interesting because my mind was going towards picks like a Malphite to really neutralize, whereas Bin was like, no, I'm just going to counter kill my lane, and then we're going to be able to take over that way. A little bit more of an aggressive mindset, and I like it moving into this particular game. I think Suning do still have a lot more to show. Looking forward to seeing what it's going to be up against Machi. Machi's back's against the wall at the moment. It's feeling like this group is getting more and more clear-cut, and if it is a Suning victory, then it makes it very, very difficult for Team Liquid and for Machi to try and make their way out. 3-1s apiece for both G2 and Suning, if that were the case, and then 1 and 3 for the other two. Still, you know, possible to get to 3 3s across the board, but not very likely considering what we've seen so far from the group. Not exactly as up in the air as a lot of these others, and especially compared to what it looked like moving into the beginning of the day. But let's have a look at how this one's going to go. And LS, as we have a look at these comps now, we know what Machi's aiming to do, but do you think they're going to be able to do it, I guess is my question.
I really don't think so, because top lane as well as the jungle, like Graves versus Volibear, that's an interesting matchup in itself because Graves can choose to go offensive against the Volibear. Sometimes you also see the Ignite come out and things of that nature. But I like what SOFM's doing. He's taking Fleet Footwork on Graves. He should realistically just be able to permanently power farm his own jungle and then just read where Gemini is going to try to appear. And if he just keeps doing that over and over, he'll accrue a very big CS lead. He'll open up Galio onto the map, and then from there, Suning just have so much better scaling than their opponents that I don't know how Machi's supposed to win.
Yeah, I feel like Suning, as far as compositions are concerned, does look much better. You understand the mindset from Machi, just don't really consider team fights. If you can smash your lanes enough, then that snowball is going to be enough. But whether they're actually going to be able to do that is going to be the question. And the wild card of SOFM is just so dangerous here on Suning's side. But already, fight breaks out towards the bottom side. Koala, the Aftershock's going to wear off, but so are the auto attacks. As that fourth bullet, One Feng really wanting to get that one off onto Machi. But already the fight's actually breaking out top side as well, as Bin doesn't have another Blade Surge. Yeah, at level 1, does have that Ionian Fervor stacked up. It's now the first Corrupting Pot Charge is going to go down. This is going to tell us a lot. This top lane is very important for both teams.
Yeah, and right now, I mean, Aurelia just already showing that she's in the driver's seat of the lane. Still 2 Corrupting Potions remaining. Gemini continuing to clear out his jungle, but look at Graves. I mean, this is sort of what we were alluding to. He's just full clearing his jungle. The hog shot comes out, gives everyone intel, but honestly, if you're SOFM, you're probably just thinking, well, of course I was doing this. So it's not like there's any surprise, because again, the onus is on Machi X to get ahead. Looks like Angel actually found himself a recall. No, Mission, I think, pulled the minions to threaten a freeze, so Angel stops his recall. Casting off the minimap right now, Atlas.
Yep, this is what you were talking about as well, was Mission's ability to control a lane, which has been very impressive, and I'm glad that we've already had that demonstrated to us very early in this game. And that's going to be another lane. Of course, I think it went without saying that Syndra was going to have a lot of control in the lane against the Galio. Galio's job more to just survive and then be a bit more utility moving into the mid to late game. Koala lying in wait. There's a bear here as well. Koalas, of course, not bears, by the way, guys. Just a PSA.
Why are they called koala bears, then?
They're not.
Oh. Wait, really?
Yeah. Not a bear. Australia doesn't have too many bears. Got a lot of weird animals, but...
You got kangaroos.
We do have kangaroos, that's true. But if that's a bear, then I'm insane as Bin. For a Blade Surge, will find it as PK offering a fair bit of damage back there. Very nicely done. Evens things out relatively, but this has still been in a lot of control. You can see demonstrated already in the CS as well. This is absolutely not how this lane was envisioned by Machi when they picked the Jace.
No, and
oh! No, solo kill underneath the turret. Bin's going to be able to take him down, and yeah, this is a disaster already.
The lane's over. The lane is so over. Oh, man. So Aurelia's going to reset. I'm curious what Bin is going to end up going for as the first items. That'll give us a lot of insight into how he's planning to take his trades and what he's going to do with the lane. Okay, so it is going to be the Vampiric Scepter. So we're not seeing a rush straight into Trinity Force, nor are we seeing a tier 2 boot rush. Those would basically be the options. You'd pick up Sheen and then go into boots, or you would just start powering into Blade of the Ruin King, go boots, or you just outright go tier 2 boots and then start to get a component item. But looks like he's valuing the mobility and the sustain via the Vampiric Scepter, so we're probably going to have a lot of lane freezes and then another kill taking place maybe on level 7. I think it's going to be really hard for PK to resist that.
Well, this is the replay of Bin just biding his time, waiting for that Blade Surge, and then just the way that you can fish for stuns as well, it's just so beautifully done by Bin on the Aurelia.
Really, really well executed mechanically. Now, both of them still do have flash, but the Vanguard's edge and Aurelia's ability to approach is just so scary.
Well, speaking of which, here's a demonstration. Flash comes out immediately, as PK didn't actually have time to use it in that first blood solo kill. But the top laner of Suning is Sword might be in a little bit of trouble here, as Koala gets himself the Titan's Wrath. That auto attack looked very strange out of but Sword will keep himself alive and prepare some hot cocoa as well. Has been looking for potentially another tower dive, but if you don't land that the E, then it doesn't even really matter. You just walk away. You can threaten these dives so comfortably on the Aurelia.
Really cool thing about that tower dive is that Aurelia is not alone there. She has so many of the spellcaster minions as well as the cannon that if Jace tries to reciprocate damage via auto attacks, all of the minions are going to start helping Aurelia, and that's a lot of excess damage that a lot of people don't think about when they're doing tower dives, but obviously players of this level are going to think about that and entertain that. So very close call by PK, managing to dodge it, but his lane is just in a nightmare spot.
Yeah, SOFM thinking about a 1 versus 4 at this stage as Angel, Unleashed Power is going to go down, avoids the Scatter the Weak pretty nicely there. Will get the Graves to safety. Magical Journey there will remove Sword Art from any danger, but SOFM, he loves danger. He's still chasing after 3 people that are going to go for a bit of a reset. Onfeng here towards the bottom side was bought a lot of extra time as Machi were sort of milling about in the river there. They were able to lock down the Rift Scuttler, but I don't know whether it's quite going to be enough of a prize to save them from this early game that Suning had provided.
Well, SOFM is just going to go back to clearing his jungle now. Close encounter there in the mid lane, but the top lane threat is already there. It looks like lethality. It's going to be the route for Jace. So not going to see any Monomune or Black Cleaver attempt. He might not be wanting to go that route, given that he's behind. He's trying to bait right now. He's trying to make Aurelia think that he's an idiot.
Yep.
But he's not. He's got a bear.
He does indeed. There's the flash forward, and you can see Bin trying to keep himself alive. Koala's here as well. They understood that it was probably not enough to just try and gank the Aurelia, but I don't know whether he's going to be able to survive this one, and he's not. PK will be able to assert his revenge. He called his cousins, got them to come through and try and take him down, you know?
Yeah, that was a really fair fight. So, Bin does end up dying. Now, he does have teleport available. He's going to be able to come back into this lane. Not going to be the end of the world. SOFM now in Sword Art over here on the right-hand side.
Yeah, Rift Herald will be started, but will be foregone for the moment. Sooning with only a small lead at this current point in time. Largely to do with Mission taking a fair bit of control here in the mid lane, and also the jungle gap not quite being at SOFM levels just yet.
Yep. And Machi, right now they're only down 600 gold. Infernal Dragon, first one on the map. We'll see which team is going to be ending up to get it. Obviously, Machi has not been having the kind of lane success or ganks that one would have hoped.
The dredge line, beautiful there from Koala. Nicely done. Sword Art just goes back into his journey. Sorry, continue your point.
No, you know, I mean, it's fine.
Very rudely interrupting there.
It's, you know, it's totally, ooh, Bilgewater Cutlass!
Yeah, he's going to be able to land that stun. Vanguard's edge comes down. You can see PK, he's running in the wrong direction, but Bin having to contend with the turret and does have to flash, as the empowered Shock Blast may have been enough to take him down. Didn't want to take the risk. As the wave gets shoved in, he's going to potentially be denied this plate, but it looks like these minions aren't going to be able to take that one down. Ooh, PK is skating on thin ice right now.
And so I think because of the proximity, Aurelia got no turret plate right there, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't think so.
And so that just went into the void. Angel getting poked. Ooh, that W did not end up hitting that second minion. A little bit,
yeah.
Definitely a Sag moment.
Yep, that is mission winning lane right there, 100%. As, well, we're calling the police a lot here. As Gemini, turn off that siren, my dude. Is this... Oh, okay, no, never mind. It is going to wear off. I thought we were going to have that another Zhonya's bug, but instead it's just like the cops are here for the rest of the game. As, indeed, they are back. As SOFM now thinking about trying to help out Sorta, but I don't think it's going to quite be enough. He flashes out of the way, but Koala is going to be able to lock down the kill. Decent stun there from Huanfeng off to the side, but you can see still Machi on the aggression.
Oof.
Great collateral damage as here comes the curtain call. He's searching for Bruce and Gemini, but you can see Koala just going to be tanking this one up. Mission just offers himself as tribute to the last bullet. As captive audience, pretty nice there onto Koala. Huanfeng gets some control back, but it shows that Machi, they're not done just yet.
Yeah. Sword Art did end up getting caught out, didn't quite have level 6, so he couldn't just Bartle himself. Angel tried to come in and save him, but wasn't able to do so. Now, meanwhile, up in top lane, Jace had that close call with Death, managed to survive, but things are going to get scary again as soon as Blade of the Ruin King is completed.
You say get scary again. I don't think it's ever stopped being scary, to be honest, on that top side of the map. See the Aurelia, the Aurelia currently with a 33 CS advantage, very close to the Blade of the Ruin King, and now with the luxury of heading down to assist with this kill onto Shelly. And if that heads towards top lane and puts even more plates into the pocket of Bin, or at least a few plates, doesn't have any just yet. SOFM going to collect the eyes. Now PK pokes his head around. You can see Machi. All 5 members are here. Mission has to flash to get out of the Tempered Fate. It's Sword Art, a brilliant Cosmic Binding to lock up both Bruce and Koala, and Bruce agrees, giving him the thumbs up there.
Well, we'll see what ends up happening.
Gemini, he's going to have to run away here. The smite does go down, as SOFM is going to be pushed back by the threat of Mission and Koala.
And SOFM, I mean, he's ahead about 20 CS, he's up in EXP, and once he hits level 9, and the camps are consumed, the camps start respawning, he starts accelerating very quickly ahead of Gemini. He starts getting 35% more EXP per camp that he ends up taking, so long as Geminis aren't respawning. He's still stuck over there, so that'll be pretty interesting. There's always that little mini game that junglers like to try to accelerate towards that breakpoint for themselves in their camps.
Yeah, well, SOFM going to find Koala here as the curtain call comes down. That's a great stun. That was incredibly creative as Wanfeng. He notices exactly where that dredge line is going, and that is a dead Koala. Oh, I just made myself sad. As now SOFM is going to start off this Infernal Drake, and will be the first of the game going over to Suning.
And things are just not really working out that well for Machi X here. And this is actually very akin to the previous game that we just cast, Atlas, where Machi X, onus is on them to get ahead, much like it was TL.
Yep.
And even though we're not having the kind of lane, well, actually we kind of are. Top lane is a little bit of a massacre again,
yeah.
Just like in that series. But
it's weird, yeah, you're right.
It's very akin to that game, yeah.
Different picks, different regions, very similar outcome.
Yeah.
As far as how this game is going. And I did want to, talk to you beautiful viewers at home and just talk about the way that we're talking about this game, because we are talking a lot about Suning being in a lot of control and winning, theoretically, but the gold lead was not massive by any means. It's just the fact that Machi, they needed to have much larger early advantages.
Yes.
And so despite the fact that the game looked close, it was absolutely not in the earlier stages of the game. And you can see that is only extending towards Suning's favor as this game progresses. It's going to take some mid-game genius from Machi to try and get them back into this one. They do have pick options, absolutely, but having a look back towards the top side really reaffirms the control that Suning does have, as SOFM does have full vision of what's going on here, as Mission's going to steal away the Gromp, but he's going to be turned golden, and the facebreaker does come down. Sorry, it's not a facebreaker, that's a big old taunt from Angel, as immediately Mission's taken down. It is the bear to get rid of the gargoyle, as this magical journey will get Suning towards Bruce, who flashes over the wall.
What?
But another cosmic binding. This guy invents physics. Sword Art, you're ridiculous.
That was truly interesting, as now Suning, they propel themselves to such a comfortable lead. Oh, Koala.
Oh no, don't corner the Koala underneath the turret. Wanfeng. Okay, that Cosmic Binding isn't going to land, but the rest of the abilities probably will, and SOFM will clean this one up. So Nautilus dead, and this bottom lane outer turret probably soon to follow as well.
3,500 gold advantage now for Suning, and hold on!
Yeah, we got another solo kill underneath the turret. Bin this time does have to flash, so not necessarily as impressive as the last one. As Suning, they're also getting to work here on the bottom side, and it looks like this team just has more players on the Rift than Machi do at this stage of the game.
Everything going really well. We take a look at this replay here. Bin holding the stun. Mission, I mean, it wasn't even really necessary. There was no chance to kill Bin there.
Yeah. And this is Mission going down as well. Koala's dredge line was certainly very odd. But yeah, Angel nowhere to go, but it didn't really matter. The rest of Suning were able to rally together, and without the Volley Bear being there, it's like, how does this happen? Sword Art just...
Yeah.
No, he finds Cosmic Bindings where they shouldn't necessarily exist.
Oh my, you know what? Boris he's seething. Umbral Glaive on Graves.
Oh, lovely.
Oh man.
SOFM gonna have to flash there as Gemini. He ulted in, but Angel just goes into his stopwatch. We'll see whether he can actually survive this one. The Tempered Fate gets rid of a lot of the damage there as Sword Art saving the rest of his team. Justice Punch comes through, and oh my goodness, could be an Aurelia party, but no! Unleashed Power denies it completely as Mission throws out the gameplay button, and Bin says that he can't outplay that one. It's been outplaying a lot, but you can't really do it towards that ability. Is now PK going to get slowed down? The curtains have been called. It gets rid of the minion wave. Is the last shot not going to land there onto Mission? As they are still trying to make plays on the side of Machi, but it hasn't really amounted to enough just yet. 4,000 gold the lead for Suning.
Yeah, and I mean, right now, Suning are just in a very comfortable position. They're up 4,000 gold. They have an Infernal Dragon. They're probably getting this mountain, and that's just going to make things that much worse. And you know what I love to see, Atlas? I love to see Trinity Force second after Blade of the Ruined King, and it does seem like that is where Bean's going with his itemization path.
The cheeky dagger there, sort of giving it away just a little bit. I agree
Pointing
with
to
you.
it, yeah.
Definitely much better than heading towards something like a Black Cleaver. if you are the Aurelia. Just because Trinity Force just synergizes with her so well. Onfeng picking up this lane of minions in the mid lane as Machi are going to go towards Shirley. Looks like we will be one Rift Herald apiece. Has 20 seconds on the Mountain Drake, and we'll be able to discover whether it is going to be cloudy or oceany today.
Well, what are you feeling? It was a really bright day today in Seoul.
I'm feeling some Earth, Wind, and Fire. That's what I'm feeling. So I think I'm with you there with the clouds.
I think it's a very rainy day for, yeah. I think it's going to be ocean. I think it's going to be a very rainy day for North America.
All right, well, Koala, that was almost a very cute play out of SOFM, but he may actually just, no, unleash power. Not going to be enough damage there onto SOFM. He had enough grip built up in order to keep himself alive, and we are going to transition into that Mountain Drake that was aforementioned. And unfortunately, this Nautilus is just falling further and further behind. Turret goes down towards the top side as Bin is 100% out of control. And Suning, it is in fact the Cloud Drake. I'm glad that we're on the same page there. Correct predictions here. But Suning not going to be able to find any sort of pincer move towards the mid lane as Bin's taken down Gromps, things like that. So Grompulus removed. Mission going to pick up this top wave, and Bin has been unlocked to get elsewhere on this rift. 1 minute until the Baron spawns. Probably not where Suning are going to be looking, but is still a fact.
And right now, Machi X, they're probably... We likely have one more team fight left in us when we complete our second core items before Suning completes their third. That's probably the timing that they're going to be going for, so...
Oh, sort of. Beautifully done.
Yeah. But I don't know. They're all grouping mid lane right now. This is the TSM Classic.
Well, we've got a big flanking teleport here out from the Aurelia. Bin lying in wait towards this control ward. A lot of pings out. Machi understood that something was afoot. And Pika going to go for the face check. They do find SOFM. The arrow connects! And it is going to be the kill going over to PK. Just a little bit overly aggressive there from SOFM. He does feel like every single camp on the map belongs to him. That one certainly did not. Swanfeng will be able to take this red buff in the meantime. So, a little bit of punishment there out from Machi, and they will get themselves a bit of respite as a result.
Yeah, it's a really good breath of fresh air for them. They're still down 5,000 gold and 2 very unfortunate dragons. But one of the other flip sides is that it is Cloud Soul. So, the third dragon of this game itself doesn't totally matter. Getting 10% ultimate CDR on Suning, not really going to affect the state of the game at 24, 25 minutes. Bean might die, actually.
Yeah, I might be looking for it as he flashes. Oh, does manage to grab the kills. Now Gemini trying to fight him off, but the rest of Suning turn up, and Bin gets out alive! Magical Journey taken by Angel. That's going to get the Galio out of there as well. And take a bow, my friend. That was beautiful.
Man, he's putting a clinic on. Honestly, the top laners today, they've been on point.
I actually have just been impressed by most of the LPL top laners, to be honest. I mean, we've got 369 and Zoom other than Bin. Like, this is very stacked towards the top side of the map when it comes to the LPL. As Mission, he's got an R button, and he's not afraid to use it, but not going to find anyone stepping up into range.
Well, looks like Mission. Yeah, he's. Oh, well.
Yeah. Did you see the certain item in the inventory of Bin right now? Like, I don't know whether anyone can go anywhere near the Aurelia.
Yeah,
they might need Nexus turrets now in order to survive. You'll need to walk all the way back. One turret, not going to quite be enough to avoid getting bursted, as we're going to have a look in our Axe replay of the Aurelia managing to do what looked like definitely at least the improbable, as somehow he manages to teleport, and the volley bear not enough to be able to take him down.
And everything's just going really well. We look at the inventories across the board. Almost the Zanya's completed for the Galio. Spellbinder almost ready for Mission. Jace continuing to go Lethality. Dead Man's Plate on the Volibear. And another serrated Dirk, actually, for SOFM. So really nice to see this. He might pick up the Yumu's Wraithblade. And then after that, or Ghostblade.
Yep.
After that, pick up Lord Dominic's Regard just to really complement the lethality that he currently has, or We've seen the variation where they start going into crit items on Graves after picking up 2 lethality items.
We'll see where he decides to go, or if this game even lets him get any further than his next lethality choice. Could theoretically just build all the lethality items and call it a day from there. I think Edge of Night certainly does have some value here as well. Stop any stray Scatter the Weaks from being a problem, as well as arrows picking off SOFM. That has happened already this game. Rapid Fire Cannon completed by Huanfeng, who's just looking for an Infinity Edge to complete his trinity of crit items, as the dredge line just going to go wide. SOFM takes that as an invitation, as Bruce is going to get caught out by the Tempered Fate. Sword Art getting into position, does find the Cosmic Binding, but not the stun. Gemini has to flash, get himself out of the way, as Angel almost takes him out with a Proto Belt, as there's the heroic entrance, but SOFM is already dead. Two-man taunt comes through from Angel, though, who's looking to save this team fight, and Bin dashing around. Is he able to find Koala is the question. He's tanking up the turret. Angel grabs that aggro, as Sword Art will be able to soak the Shock Blast to keep his Gargoyle alive and soon keep pushing forward.
And a really close encounter right there. They were able to get Graves right before he released collateral damage, which would have added a lot to this team fight. Some more members on the side of Machi would have probably went down. At the end of it, they're going to have their jungle stolen away. Cloud Dragon's going to be captured by Jhin. And the gold lead's almost 10,000.
Yeah, and we've seen SOFM get caught twice already, just by himself, and also, well, I guess not by himself in that last team fight. However, he was popped very early. But you have a look down at the CS numbers, he's 50 CS in the lead. This guy's 2 levels above Gemini. He's 100% doing his job, making this volley bear as useless as possible. So let's have a look at this fight one more time. Angel played this one beautifully.
Yeah, I mean, they just get in there. Now, fortunately, Koala does lock up Graves, and Mission is able to bring the kill onto SOFM before he adds any chaos to it. But no matter what, Suning, they just march forward with their wallets.
Yep. This is starting to get to a very heavy wallet situation, absolutely. It's Mission back on the Rift. You can see PK off to the back, but he's got a couple of lethality items, but doesn't really have much use here in this game, as Angel might have been caught out. There's the Tempered Fate going to land only onto Mission, as Justice Punch is interrupted by Koala. Angel does go golden with his Zhonya's, as SOFM is going to get dredged. But you can see now Bin finding his way into this fight. The Vanguard's Edge comes out. That's going to be that first kill, as the Unleashed Power does basically nothing to Bin. Avoids the Scatter the Weak with the stopwatch, and he's going to be able to walk out of here for now. SOFM looking to try and flank, but the volley is going to slow him down. Teleport comes forward as the 4th shot does a lot of work onto Mission. And now who's chasing who? Is Angel full health now as he comes back into the fight. And SOFM over with the Blast Cone. That is going to be a dead Bruce. And how much more can Suning gather? As Koala down to 200. PK tries to find one, but SOFM not going to be falling down this time. Scatter the Weak avoided expertly by the rest of Suning. The magical journey comes through. Bin, the one that's very comfortable dashing on forward. And that is going to be the chase down onto Koala. Bin not going to be able to find it. That is going to be the execution as Nautilus does go down.
Well, seems like Suning now, they're going to pick up the Baron. This will almost persist into the Cloud Soul as well if they don't manage to end with the Red Bull Baron power play. We'll have to see what they do manage to get with it.
Yep. 3 minutes now of split push heaven for good old Bin here towards the top side. See whether they're going to be able to stop him. I don't know how it's going to happen, as we're going to have a look at this one once again. Angel just saying no to death.
This is definitely a pretty interesting team fight, because I felt like Mission had such a good performance in it, and he was really helping push back Suning, that we're in such a commanding spot leading up to this whole fight. And Machi, I mean, they had a really good team fight, all things considered. Just didn't quite have enough in the end, especially not when Angel re-teleported back in.
Yep, and I'm really glad that we did focus on the replay. However, there was a double kill that happened in the picture-in-picture. I know you guys could have possibly seen that one. And that's been grabbing a quick couple. Bruce going to be turned gold here as well by Sword Art. That's the double taunt, beautifully done by Angel, and this will be the ace completed by Suning. This has been a massacre start to finish. Has been very close to falling just there. Did manage to nullify a bit of that damage, I guess. But now he'll be able to stack up that fervor and get himself home. Teleport is available, and it looks like Suning are going for the end here at 27.5 minutes. Gemini has respawned. Mission going to be up very soon as well, but the Nexus turrets won't. As Ben has made his way back through, does have himself a Guardian Angel as well. That's going to be a great knock up there onto the Volley Bear. The taunt to follow through. That's going to be an afterthought kill onto the Volley Bear, as Mission says, well, I'm going to spend some time on the fountain. And Suning say they're moving to 3-1, as we have two teams at 3-1 now in group.